took a couple lanes of Rax. They then went on for one of the most just epic Aegis snipes, as well as the Roshan kill. MP got that too, that you'll ever see. And they walk away with the win. So they lead 1-0. They've got a chance at 3 points here if they can fully sweep Vici. But now they've laid some of their cards on the table, and we'll see if Vici are ready for them.
Yeah, I'm going to be curious to see what HOT6 pull out. I think it's going to be kind of similar approach where it's all out aggression, strong lanes, heroes that can snowball, and that last pick, Storm Spirit, punishing the fact that Vici Gaming didn't have a good lockdown, didn't have any heroes to deal with it. They had the Winter's Curse, but that's not really a long-duration disable and is very reliant on dumping a lot of damage on top of it, which they didn't really have. I mean, if they had a farm Zeus, it could have worked out, but it got to a point where Storm as well as Lina just were too out of control, and the weak early game meant Hal was playing catch-up for too long, so Vici Gaming going to be looking to take some of these key heroes away. The Tusk from last game will be denied. I think the other big mistake with that draft is they should have banned out the Undying in the second stage. The second ban stage, they kind of pointed their fingers at other heroes. They'd already given away the Tusk, and that Tusk Undying lane was just the bane of Vici Gaming's existence in Game 1.
It really was. And Vici Gaming, they go right ahead and ban not one, but both heroes in the first stage. So Bounty Hunter's available, but Vici have the first pick, and we all know what FY can do with that hero. So if you're MVP, do you just ban it now?
I think maybe it's okay to leave in, because Bounty Hunter as a roamer means you can look to do well in the lanes. I mean, you have to have. It means your mid lane may suffer a little bit, but if you can run maybe some dual lanes of your own, just look to do what you did in Game 1, where you just dominate the lane stage and force Bounty Hunter to maybe play more defensively. I think it can still work out okay. In fact, Vici Gaming don't take it. Leshrac left in the pool. HOT6, I think, basically said with, again, Dazzle, like the Rubik ban in Game 1, a pseudo throwaway ban. The Rubik obviously a respect ban towards FY, but much more just like we want to leave a lot of heroes in the pool. We want this game to go very differently here. And I'd be very surprised if HOT6 don't get the Bounty Hunter in these first two.
So what do you want if you're HOT6 here? You see Leshrac. Now, we saw how Cloud9 tried to deal with this earlier. They went like all in countering the core Leshrac earlier. They go anti-mage, they go Pugna first phase. That felt like it was just too committed, and then there's ways to respond to it. But do you consider a hero like anti-mage if you're HOT6? They go Bounty, or do you just take the face rush to them again?
I think more likely it's going to be face rush. If it's anti-mage, I don't think they'd pick it up this early on. It reveals too much. Like, once you pick the anti-mage, it's like, okay, they could still run dual lanes, but it's like, this is their strategy. It's very much revolving around the anti-mage, so I could see them going for like a Pugna or a Pugna type strat, but they haven't got the Undying, like a Pugna Undying type, just death ball, but not.
But just on his own, he's rather frail and easily brought down if he's not careful.
Clockwork is going to be the option here. Good against the Leshrac when you hit that Blade Mail timing, and Leshrac doesn't want to go for a BKB that early on. He takes a while to get it because he wants his Bloodstone first, and normally even like a Bloodstone Yules, so makes Leshrac's life a little more difficult.
Yeah, with this clock pick, they get a bit of a solution to Leshrac until he gets a BKB, which normally takes a decent amount of time, if it is a core Leshrac. Now, there is still potential for support. We used to see Vici Gaming run their Rubik Lesh duo quite a bit. The Rubik's in the pool. They could even pick it now, and you really don't know, which could put HOT6 in quite the predicament. You know, do you worry about the dual roam too much? At the same time, Bounty, Clock, pretty durable heroes, so Vici Gaming, we'll have to see what direction they want to take this as they move into their second pick.
Yeah, I could see Rubik being a solid pick. It also doesn't really reveal too much about it reveals nothing about what you're doing, because
for some teams it reveals a lot, but for Vici it reveals nothing.
Yeah, like you said, you don't know if Leshrac is going to be the support pair or a core still, so a Rubik pick, yeah, there we go. You called it. You have no idea what Vici Gaming are doing. I mean, you can theoretically say, okay, it could be a Rubik Lesh support tool, but even if you know that's the case, it doesn't. They're going to roam a lot. That's all it tells you. And at the same time, it could just be a Rubik with someone else and Leshrac played in the mid lane. So options are plenty for Vici Gaming. They can go any direction with this draft.
They banned Pugna, though. So it does lean towards a potential core Lesh with that. Doesn't have to be by any means, but obviously the ward is just ridiculously good against Leshrac. So, where do HOT6 want to take this? They've got a lot of ganking potential here as far as initiation. They don't have a whole lot of damage. Generally, when we see a Clockwork, we see someone who can throw a lot of nuke power into it. It used to be Skywrath. Lina's quite a bit more popular nowadays. Occasionally, we'll even see something like a Lion, though he seems to not be quite in vogue as much as he once was.
The big hero, I'd be surprised if HOT6, at least not eyeing off somewhat, is Gyrocopter. Still in the pool, didn't get banned, didn't get touched in this first stage, just because, I mean, HOT6 want to prioritize the Bounty Hunter, and I think they want to get just that good control and a hero that can deal with the Leshrac before going into the Gyrocopter. So HOT6 have the first pick in the second picking stage, so they can theoretically go for that. And it's good because HOT6 are in a position where, I mean, they have to run, like, Bounty Hunter's going to be roaming, so Clockwork going to be a solo hero, but he can solo the safe lane if they want to go for, like, a dual lane in the off lane with a Gyro +1. If they feel they can, that won't get punished, which comes down to, like, what the support pairing is for Vici Gaming. And it's flexible. I mean, Gyrocopter's win rate's been absurd, so I think that's kind of the hero MVP HOT6 will have their eye on. If not Gyrocopter, it's going to be like a late game anti-mage strat. It's
pretty surprising he hasn't been picked yet, to be honest. It's in most games, it feels if Gyro is not banned first phase, he definitely is picked within the first 4. Maybe not first overall, but very unusual to see him slip this far. And it will be HOT6 with the first pick coming out of this one, so keep your eyes out for that. They don't really have... No, there you go. There's the ban on the Gyro, so they're going to have to go a different direction now. Other options, we've seen the Shadow Fiend from this team before, MP, known for his Zeus play at times, maybe a little too squishy and gimmicky on the pickoffs, but...
And even the heroes we saw last game.
Maybe Invoker.
Lena's a possibility once again if they want to run another core Lena. Last game was safe lane, they can run it mid if they want. A lot of burst damage when you're trying to bring down the Leshrac quickly.
You do have the bounty, so even if you pick almost anyone, it breaks even or loses to Lesh, but you've got the bounty to harass a little bit.
Yep.
Can help even up the lane.
Well, they kind of have their eyes on here, and they still need that. If they don't reveal too much with this third pick, they look to just maybe grab that kind of range support to go with whatever carry they want. You're going to imagine like that Disruptor, Witch Doctor, which they really like, is going to be what they have in mind to go with whatever carry that they're thinking about.
Then Lena it is, so they stick with what worked last game. Also can beat Leshrac in lane, has a really good nuke in the Dragon Slave, and once you get 6, if he hasn't farmed really well and has some HP items, you can just slave him and Laguna him, and he's basically dead.
Yeah, pretty flexible too, because it might not even be it could be another safe lane Lena if they want to go for that.
It could even be a support.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So Vici Gaming kept guessing. I mean, if they've done their homework on HOT6, which, I mean, ultimately they're going to do some homework on every team, even the teams they thought they had. They previously thought they might have an easy shot against, but Jerax has played a lot of Lena. Throughout the qualifiers, I think it was one of his most played heroes. So they see this leader pick and they're like, well, last game was carry, could be anything this game.
They definitely did their homework because, yeah, they banned the Leshrac, the Earthshaker for Jerax very early in the previous game. But whether they've studied the entire Bible on HOT6, not so sure about that.
The Vici Gaming now have to start feeling a bit more about what they have in mind. They're going to go Earthshaker.
Well, that's about as unrevealing as it gets. Could still be an offlaner for Ice Ice Ice. Could still be a dual roam Leshrac Rubik, or it could be the Leshrac mid, support Rubik ES. There's a lot of ways they can still take this. But next pick, they definitely have to reveal.
Yeah, it's so flexible with Earthshaker and Leshrac as far as laning goes. I imagine it's going to be a support Earthshaker Rubik duo with Leshrac as their core mid. I mean, Leshrac can mid or safe lane, I guess, but Ice 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 actually hasn't played that much offlane Earthshaker. Not to say by no means is he a hero pool limited player, but it's very much like they don't know too much about what HOT6 are doing, especially because the Lena picks is versatile, so they pick up a versatile pick of their own, and it's kind of like a waiting game where you're trying to see what the key heroes for your opponents are going to be before you commit to your own.
Bloodseeker, the choice. Very strong potentially against all these heroes with a great zoning spell. The Leshrac especially, you want to be running after the enemy team, and if he gets silenced, can really throw him for a loop.
Blood Rage Lena, that's scary stuff as well.
Very squishy stuff as well, potentially. But
yeah,
yeah, that can be an instant KO option if they get the farm. So I guess most likely a one-position Bloodseeker. They've got the clock for the offlane. The Lena still flexible. Could go mid. Could be the support.
I feel like a TA would be a great pick for Vici Gaming. It's just not something Super plays that often. We've seen it match up pretty well against Bloodseeker. You're on the dire side. It gives you some good extra damage. It does put Leshrac into a side lane, and Instead, it's Ember Spirit, so a good fighting carry. And
Now there's a hero like the Storm. You're invulnerable while you move through the spirits, so not taking rupture damage, and also just very elusive in general. They don't have a reliable silence here. They do have a strong one, but no guarantee that it's going to connect.
This looks like a tough Bloodseeker game. Tons of control.
And you're running in on a Leshrac.
Yeah, running in on a Leshrac. You can telekinesis. You can chain stun him really easily. You've got Searing Chains to control him. Also, and this is a great Ember Spirit game just as well. Like, they haven't got an easy way to initiate with a silence and keep him locked in place, so I could see this. I can see this draft working a lot better for Vici Gaming compared to last.
See what HOT6 have in store for this last pick. They're going to ban out the 5th hero now for Vici, who at this point it looks to be the Super Ember. House hero still to be... Well, How could be the Leshrac,
I think How might be the... How also plays Ember Spirit from time to time, so if they want to run...
Okay.
It's going to come down to matchups, and I think... If they're expecting Bloodseeker mid, they'd rather send Leshrac against the Bloodseeker.
Oh yeah, definitely rather send Lesh than Ember. That is no fun for Ember.
At the same time, I don't know if HOT6 want to send Bloodseeker mid because he's not a hero that. I mean, I guess he has a decent amount of kill potential with bounty roaming once he gets some levels in thirst stack. So
the safe lane is fine. I worry a bit about the off lane Seeker not getting his early farm and then levels. Yeah. We saw last game. Ice, sure he caught up a little bit, but he just didn't have that explosive impact that you're really looking for when you pick this hero.
Yeah, I could see it being safe lane. I guess safe lane or mid. So we'll see what HOT6 have in mind. And again, comes down to where the Lina goes. But with the success of last game's core Lina, Vici Gaming is saying, yeah, it's probably a core Lina. They ban out Witch Doctor, which is the go-to kind of 5-position support for HOT6 a lot of the time.
Time to finish up the draft here, HOT6.
Interesting AA ban, too. I'm expecting last pick's a Rubik AA. I mean,
they're expecting the offlane Shaker here and the core Lesh, which is... I think it's the most likely at this point. Not guaranteed, though.
Yeah, with the Brood ban especially, there's... I don't think what other Ice series you'd look to pull out.
I mean, he can play anything. Yeah. Trying to think what would really be good here. I mean, we used
Breaker is not bad this game.
Oh boy, we talked about this in the first game of the day.
Okay.
This is...
Spirit Breaker just got a lot better now as well.
Yes.
Having Charge and Nether Strike to do with Husker.
This is the Leshrac counter, potentially.
Yeah.
Even Ember is all magic damage through the early game. Later on, obviously he's a hitter, but it does feel like you want a little physical damage.
You can't really walk up to the Husker 2Ls and Ember Spirit. It's like very much like Slight, 5 seconds later another Slight. Yeah, this last
and imagine if he's blood raged and he starts getting kills.
They've got no reserve time left. They have to think of a pick very quickly.
3 seconds. FY, they call you a god. Let's see. Does he have the solution? Timber.
Pure damage. There we go. Yeah.
That's one other way to deal with the Husker. They don't want to go physical. They go pure. Not an amazing Timbersaw game, though. The Bloodseeker sounds very irritating for him. They've got heavy burst from the Lina and magical form. They'd also have Clock, who could totally shut down Timber if he catches him with battery assault.
It's very much his guarantee that they have a way to kill the Husker in the mid game, because you kind of mentioned Ember Spirit very much magic damage focus. Around the time Husker hits his armlet treads timing, when he's armlet toggling, you haven't got the damage to finish him off. There's nothing to really counter the armlet toggles too well, and when he gets low HP, he's just going to be hitting like a madman, doing all kinds of damage. So I think it's a very smart pick to guarantee that, assuming Ice is still alive, Husker, when he gets low HP, is going to get punished. That's Timbersaw's entire role here. It is a rough Timbersaw game. He gets owned by Rupture. Clockwork's a problem. Bloodseeker Silence is a problem. Lina's got a ton of magic nuke damage, but their last pick had to be something offering some answers to Husker. So we'll see how it works out.
With that, we get underway here, ladies and gentlemen. MVP HOT6 in the driver's seat, leading 1-0 in the 2-game set versus the previously undefeated Vici Gaming. Vici Gaming running through the lineups quickly. We'll have Super on the Leshrac, so it will be a core Shrek in the end. Fenrir playing the support Earthshaker, not the offlane Shaker we were discussing. Timbersaw will be in the hands of Ice. Of course, wearing, I believe, his own pro gear here. Looking pretty as ever, self-made. You can't get it in the store FY on the Rubik, and that does leave up top Hal on the Ember Spirit. Meanwhile, for MVP, we've got Jerax. He'll be roaming as the Bounty Hunter, not on a big team fight here like we're accustomed to seeing him on. Sunby playing the offlane Clock. It's MP handling the Bloodseeker and going mid. Heen, Yerlina, and that leaves Forev. I would call it his signature here only because we see it so infrequently, and he's one of the few that actually plays it in competitive on the Huskar.
Well, the early roaming, well, not roaming, early deep ward planted by the Leshrac in the mid lane. He actually went onto the high ground next to the Ancients to plant this from up above, so it actually didn't get... Oh, no, okay, they realized what happened. Very handy D ward coming out.
That's going to hurt Vici Gaming quite a bit here.
Yeah, it's...
Especially against the Bounty Hunter, not having that vision, he doesn't even have to run around Invis anymore.
And the other ward is generally in the off, like they know the other ward is typically in the off lane for ISISI, so that's down bottom, giving him vision, and also I'm curious ward from ISISI down bottom, not really behind the trees, not really help. I guess he'll maybe cut down these trees at some point.
Oh, that's the Radiant ward.
Oh, that's a Radiant ward. You're right. No, so the other one hasn't been planted yet. Okay.
Let's see. Yeah, it's on FY.
Okay, never mind. I thought that was nice size where I was like...
I was with you. I'm like, wait a second. That's not a very good dire wall.
No. So this will, yeah, get vision out in lane and spot... Because ISISI will be trying to go for runes where possible, because he'll get zoned out pretty hard by the Husk.
Well, for now, Fenrir is the salve bearer for Super. Doesn't want that courier to get sniped, so he just walks it out to the lane. Always the threat with the Bounty Hunter, but a hero that's well equipped to kind of help out in that situation. Bottom lane, we'll see Ice went for the double mango strat. On paper, a great item for Timbersaw. You've already got reactive armor, so you've got some natural HP regen. It just kind of stacks up, and at this point he's working with 6, make it 7 HP regen a second. But he's up against Flaming Spears, heavy harass from Heen support Lina. And if he has to start eating these things just to try and stay in the lane and chain away, then he's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, so he'll want to hold on to them as long as possible until he's going for kills. And
that's a lot of regen. That's 11 with the tangos. Maybe that's why they picked him, was not even just for the pure damage, but just the raw regen that Timbersaw has in lane.
It definitely helps. I still think at some point they're going to
FP's big pot. Super going in. Who's going to win the man fight? It is Super. And that's not a great way to start the lane for your Bloodseeker. Yep.
And that was... The Radiant Sentry actually wasn't in range of the Dire one there, so the Sentry battle kind of favoring Vici Gaming here since they have vision over the lane for the Bounty Hunter.
He does at least get the experience, but if you're dying early as Bloodseeker, Leshrac is going to be very difficult to deal with. Just not a hero you want to run in on, as we mentioned, and if you fall behind, then that becomes even more so the case.
Yeah, thinking he just had maybe the edge with Jerax nearby, but it's a...
It was the fissure. The fissure just kept the Bounty Hunter back and really limited the damage.
Sunby at top, he gets caught out, and Hal just walked in with the Flame Guard and FY in range for a telekinesis, so...
Nice takedown there. Normally offlane Clock, not a hero that dies that much early, but... It's the Clock that dies first, not the Timbersaw, who still has his double mango. May need to ferry a set of tangos if he takes too much more harass. But.
He's in a tough spot. At this point, the lane equilibrium is far enough away from his tower that can't really get any experience. And this is where Timbersaw really fell off as a pick, because he had no real way. He can't jungle at all. He struggles to actually get XP in lane if he gets zoned out properly, and that's exactly what Heen has been doing here with the help of, I mean, the strongest laning carry almost in the Huskar.
Yeah, I mean, maybe you throw the Viper into that discussion, but Huskar is... It's definitely
his zoning
up there.
Potential is pretty ferocious for solo offlaners.
FY does have a Sentry Ward. He has not planted it just yet. He's going to go for a pull, but in they go. They get off the slow. Jerax does have the Orb of Venom, but a great lift. He chooses Sunby, not Jerax. That was the correct play, and it allows him to just walk away with the early boots pickup. Hal was thinking about a double tango through to go for this and counter-initiate, but doesn't end up finding the opening.
And Earthshaker Fenrir just continuing to camp this mid lane, realizing that he can maybe look to set up a similar play to what he just did, where one fissure into a split earth and maybe waiting for Leshrac to hit level 5. But also importantly, just being around to stack neutral camps and then secure these runes as the 4-minute mark is approaching.
No stacks just yet. He hasn't gotten any going, but you see MP with quite a bit of move speed, and that's going to force Ice back to the base. He has bought his boots, though. Did not get the tangos. Trish tried to rush him right away. Oh, that could be a good silence. He's looking for the clip. He does manage to fight Super, and now he can look to go in. There's no points in edict, but there's too much backup. It's just a Vici Gaming dog pile here at the top road. They send an extra man. And if they didn't, that's probably a dead Lesh. But with the 3, they're able to hold it, get the rune, and then just back off.
Smart sentry as well. FY kind of just guess when Bloodseeker's going for that rune as he is, when like he just knew the bounty hunter would show up there. So good blind sentry coming out, gets the bounty hunter, and Earthshaker also starting the stacks there. So gets the first stack on that big camp, and that's something where Super can just get out of control within a crazy amount of farm if he has stacks, as well as the fact that he's dominating this mid lane.
In terms of farm here, looking at the creep scores, it's a little bit of a lead here for HOT6, guys.
Yeah,
despite how the kill score is going.
Clock is getting farm and level. Clock is doing much better than Ice. So this is very much like something you see from Ice. He'll die in the off lane, but if it's to get experience and farm, it's worth it. But problem is, as Timber saw, if he's going to die and not even get XP down here, as soon as he comes in XP range, he's getting pummeled. And he's only just now found a way to snuck himself into these trees and leech some XP from this lane.
And Forev closing in on a level 6. He is rushing the armlet. It's going to be a pretty fast one. And once you get the armlet, the big play potential can come out. But it's kind of tough to armlet toggle this game. You've got the Rubik lift, the Lesh stun, the chains potentially just to hold you in position for everything else. And then the fissure as well, which can come out of nowhere. I feel like that's almost more of an issue than the pure damage. Just you try to armlet toggle, you get stunned, and you just die without getting to do anything. So we'll see. How good will 4F be? Well, not quite there yet.
It gives them a ton of solo kill potential. They can go for the solo Roche play. But yeah, they've got a lot of stuns, and during that chain stun, they can just look to right-click him down. But see how it works out for him, as it looks like this next rune is not going to be contested. Clockwork even rotated in, and Super just says, I'm bottle growing.
Oh, they're bringing in FY. He actually wants to fight it. He's pinning the bounty hunter's here, guys. The bounty hunter's here, and indeed he is. Sentry pop, they fissure block him, but it's on the wrong side. They're going to lift him over the fissure. Nope, not quite. Just back into a Lesh stun. That's some teamwork there by Vici, showing just how comfortable they are playing around the FY Rubik. And well, a good read by him. They see Sunby moving in, and they're saying there's no way Clock goes for this unless there's also Bounty Hunter here. Let's just get the easy pick. So far, it's been a very poor opening for the Bounty Hunter from Jerax.
Oh, there's Armlet. And this is the power of Husker.
And another death. It's Sunby who's going to die mid. It's just wave after wave of Vici gaming heroes charging into the mid lane and just finding easy pickoffs.
Yeah, let Earthshaker just a beastly combo here. He's going to go for the
no TP. He might have this one. Yes, sir, he does with the armlet.
Armlet toggle if he wants.
They're going to need more of that from 4F, but that is a great way to get his team in the game. 5-1 the score now. Yeah,
this is going to be a problem lane. I mean, there was no real last pick they could put in the off lane against the Husker. They're just hoping that once Ice gets levels, he can be a useful hero at dealing with him. And this Husker, he's not even going to go back to base. He just stays down here, constantly armlet toggles. He's fine. You armlet toggle, you get 500-ish HP, so that's going to be enough unless Vici Gaming really rotate 3 to 4 heroes down there.
He's definitely glad the Bloodseeker's on his team. That's for sure.
Yeah, picking Husk when the other team has Bloodseeker probably a bad idea.
No, not again. Sunby walks right back into mid and again picked off. They are just trilaning bottom, and meanwhile, while that was going on, Huskar suicides, but he gives Timbersaw the kill first. That is the kill. The kill mid is bad, but or not ideal rather. Yeah. But that kill bottom is the one you just can't afford if you're HOT6.
Yeah, I didn't see what happened, but I imagine it was just an outplay where
I think he dove for it and then just armlet toggled at the wrong time. Would be my guess.
Ice says probably just outplayed the armlet toggle, or he messed up the armlet toggle.
Oh, and now he's looking for Heen, who just stuck around behind the tower. He's going to get stunned. There will be another chain already, and Heen running around the Rosie.
Ice has suddenly recovered from like a terrible laning stage, which is just what you'd expect.
They got him. And they are even going to give Ice the last hit. He's already well on his way to his arcane boots. They have ruptured FY, and they really need this kill. The fissure won't connect. FY should be going down here. The lift comes out. Good toss. Not good enough. MP getting on the board. That's almost the Midas. But meanwhile, Ember hunting Jerax top. He's carrying a personal
hook
dust.
Shot in mid lane.
But Jerax juked him, and in the meantime, like he said, there's a hook shot on mid. Going on to Fenrir. MP doesn't finish the job, but they do manage to at least try to retreat the Bloodseeker out of this one. The Amber of Howe rotated in. The Clockwork did end up falling there to Super's Leshrac while that was going on, and well, that's not great.
I mean, classic HOT6 game, just chaotic. Fights happening in all 3 lanes, and just trying to keep Vici Gaming just kind of not so much on tilt, but just trying to play this kind of crazy, unpredictable style, and it works here or there. Like the giving Ice those 2 kills completely negated all the work they've done zoning him out, but it's still very much how they have to play against Vici Gaming. They have to play unpredictable. They have to go for these kind of crazy plays, and
it's just going to be so tough in these later fights when you've got the massive AoE and team fight of Vici, and HOT6 just have a hook shot to initiate. That's really it. Their team fight does not stack up against the Shaker, the AoE. They're going to need to find the pickoffs here, gods.
Yeah, and Leshrac is pretty scary in how much farm he's got. It looks like he'll pick up point booster now with the side shop, and this is 1k HP on a Leshrac just 9 minutes into the game.
Well, it was obvious there was a hill ward when Clockwork died twice on top of his own hill, and at long last they get the D ward, but it definitely already did its work. Still, hookshot is available here. Maybe make a jump on Ice, Sunbee's thinking. There's also a haster in here bottom. Can they contest this? This could be big for MVP. Vici Gaming moving into the river. Super's going to try to grab it, but he's thwarted. Sunbee wrangles him in. They immediately look good to him. That makes MP a very happy man as he starts rushing in. They track Fenrir. They can start to mince into him, but House waiting with the chains. Can they focus the Bloodseeker down? They sure can. And there's no Huskar for this fight. He's off farming bottom. So it ends up being a 1-for-1. They do kill the Leshrac, which is certainly nice, but not a track kill. The dive from Borev. Oh, he jumps in with the dunk onto the creep to get in range for the last auto attacks on Ice. That's some creativity there, folks.
Yeah, and a good kind of sequence of events overall for HOT6. Getting the Lesh kill especially. That was a Lesh with a dominating streak, and Sunbee kind of making up for some of his earlier game mishaps there by getting that nice initiation, taking the rune away, and
they do have track gold now.
Oh yeah. So this is where you've got to be careful of your Vici Gaming. I think you want to play kind of a more... They're going to be playing a much more kind of calculated, slow-paced, methodical game where they pick their fights a bit better. They probably want to go back to what they were doing a lot in Game 1, which is using their smokes to find kills as a team, and it seems they are grouping up at bottom lane with FY having a smoke.
Oh, this is a large smoking party, and Clockwork Rocket didn't actually see the smoke. I think it barely clipped the Earthshaker backing off, but that is not a giveaway. And Sunbee walks right into it. He's got a hook. He does manage to get the cogs off, but that's way too much magic damage. No chance. Cogs are stolen. And with the Rubik's Lift, this is a pretty nice spell. He can just pop the cogs and then pull them right back in as they look to focus heroes down.
Wondering if Huskar's going to try for the sneaky Roche. It's something...
It's... You know, Radiant. It's so risky, but maybe they go for it.
Yeah. You wonder if maybe because it's the riskier and less expected it is, the maybe more likely it is to work, but...
We saw it from Cloud9, but you have to be patient with your time. You can't just run in right away.
You kind of got to wait until Vici Gaming feel like they're ahead and have the advantage and they're pushing down towers, and suddenly you just like smoke past everything and sneak your way in there. But... At this stage of the game, I don't think it's a risk worth taking. And ooh, rupture mid.
Silence and no stuns. Something MVP's a bit light on as they... Oh, they stole the blood right. That's a big one. Level 3, you've got good setup from the Rubik Lift as well as the Fissure. Fissure into blood right can really ruin MVP's day. And remember, that is pure damage, which can be a nice tool for dealing with the Huskar.
Dire's top tower, Radiant's bottom
tower. The tier 1 bottom here, Vici Gaming. Pulling ahead a bit in terms of gold. It was about dead even with that. VP, it feels the whole game plan just revolves around 4F. He's the one who's most farmed. He's the one that can go in, but he's got to be patient about it. Find the openings. That's the only way for 4F. And there's your first dunk attempt, but he gets lifted and quickly nuked down, blasted to smithereens. They didn't even need the blood right as he gets trapped on the wrong side of a Fissure, and that's a quick trip back to the fountain for him. Jarek's dusted. He's next. It's 3 dead. Vici are giving no quarter, and they just know where MVP wants to move. And I wouldn't be surprised if there's salt in the wound and they get dewarded mid in a matter of moments.
Yeah. It's tricky as a Husker because this is a hero who often runs around on that super low HP, just armlet toggling around, never healing up to full, or just using whatever little HP regen he has to walk around. And problem is, Rubik Telekinesis, Earthshaker Fissure, and then you just dump the pure damage of Timbersaw on top. That's a dead Husker anytime he gets caught out, and Vici Gaming have the numbers, which they did. In that case, all they needed was Rubik and Timbersaw. That's the worry for Husker, and it feels like he will have to alter his playstyle where he's not constantly just leaving the armlet on like 25% HP, because otherwise he'll just get punished over and over again.
And as the game goes on, they just have to get BKBs. There's really no other way. There's so much magic damage, a lot of pure damage, especially in the case of the Huskar, and if they don't have it, the chances of not getting caught seem very slim, but he is going to jump on Ice. Laguna's there. Does he get off the pure damage combo for it? He does. He didn't get to armlet toggle. He's dead again. MP will find 1 kill, but then he loses his move speed. Oh, he finds FY. That's a double. He's got a Rupture now. This could be more. Rupture Super. You might get yourselves 4 kills. He's in trouble. It's Super's turn to run, and although he looks to immolate them down, he won't survive. A brutal overextension from Vici Gaming that they pay for dearly. That, my friends, is almost a 3,600 gold swing.
Maybe it's not the Huskar they have to play around. It's just you paid the Huskar, I guess.
That's the play there, apparently.
It's very much. I think Vici Gaming are just like, okay, the Huskar's the problem here. Once we kill him, we're good. But I mean, Clockwork is. This is the stage of the game where Clockwork can shine. Bloodseeker, well, he can do Bloodseeker things. He's level 11 now, has max Blood Ride as well as Thirst, and once you throw all your spells.
Uh-oh. Ice. He just used the chain. If they could just hit this stun, he's done for. The silence is there. He chains out of the silence, and he might keep on going, but MP's bringing him low. He's got another chain. He doesn't get it off. Ice. Overextending and giving up a freebie as MP goes from having just Treads and Midas, he literally completed them right before that fight, to having suddenly 2 components for a BKB.
Yeah, you talked about how important BKBs are going to be this game, and MP wasting no time whatsoever going for his. I think that's going to be what Furov goes for. Maybe get some Treads along the way, but there aren't really any big anti needs. Like evasion, not really important here because there aren't that many right-click damage heroes. It's all about the pure damage from the Timbersaw as far as dealing with him. So the only other item which sometimes you see Huskars buy is like a Guardian Greaves, but I don't feel like this is a particularly strong Greaves game.
Maybe you go back for it if you really want to tank up, but yeah, it feels like BKB first for sure. And for now, it's Jerax who picks up the headdress. Not sure if he wants Vlads or Mech here. We've seen both builds on Bounty Hunter. Oh, they have found Sunbeat. Tries to TP out, and oh, the Fissure barely clipped him. Not sure if they had vision or if that was just prediction, but either way, he gets lifted and dropped, and they will have to forfeit his life as Jerax just watches helplessly from the trees. Hean trying to do a bit of split pushing mid, but he'll need to retreat soon as well. Fenrir's going to have a Fissure soon. If anybody else is coming, he may end up dying here. Nah, it doesn't look like it. By the way, we have not talked about how, and that's good news for Vici because he's got already a Battle Fury Gods. He went Treads, pretty unusual item on Ember. We almost always see the Phase Boots, and now he's got a completed Battle Fury, so he will be farming rather quickly as this game moves along.
Yeah, I mean, normally, he has been a fairly active Ember Spirit, but by no means the standard kind of go into every fight with phase drums. The Treads Aquila is, and even the Magic Wand gives him good sustain and decent abilities to fight. He's very tanky. It's like you're seeing on 1200 HP fairly early on, but doesn't quite have the same uptime as the stats that drums give you. But as a result, he's going to be a much bigger late game threat, and this is a fantastic Battle Fury timing.
It's a quick one. Bloodseeker's BKB nearly complete. MP might end up being the man who has to run in first here. Let's take a look at Forev. What does he have? Just the Ogre Club, so a bit farther off. But if they can get that double BKB, maybe around that 23-minute mark, that could be the opportunity for MVP to just rush in and guns a-blazing, look for a bunch of kills. We'll go back to farming. It seems that's the game plan. They just feel like Forev needs to catch up and, well, not catch up, but more get that next key item for himself.
And even fighting without the Bloodseeker BKB, probably a bad idea, as he'd be back home from bottom lane and pick it up, it looks like. Ice, you can see the damage output he offers. Ice is still in a fantastic spot. He's died quite a lot this game. He's also got some key kills on the Huskar, but item-wise and level-wise, he's in a solid position. He's well out farming the Clockwork now. He's also much higher level than the Clockwork, so despite somebody's good early start,
big dive by How. He uses a smoke to jump in with a Remnant, and then follows up with a nice chains, gets the catch. That's the death of the Lina. They track How, and they hook onto FY, catching him in the cogs. He might end up giving some bonus gold here. The Bloodseeker Silence coming out, it connects on 2, and he rushes in with an unexpected BKB, but the Edict damage might be enough to bring him down. He Bloodstone denies, so MP doesn't heal. This leaves Forev a little freer to roam, but there's still some lockdown available, and they're going to commit onto him. Echo Slam there, everything thrown at the Husk. No armlet toggle for you, sir. 4 fall. If Bloodseeker managed to get that last hit and healed up to nearly full, gods, maybe that would have been their fight, but they just didn't get it.
And also just helped out, like, Hal was getting low from the burning spears of the Husker, so healed him back up to full HP, and just across the board, it just gave Vici Gaming that little boost in ability to continue the fight and just outlast MVP, so that was a key fight for them, and it feels like Vici Gaming's lineup is going to scale a lot better. The Husker, I mean, a gimmicky pick by nature to begin with, hasn't really delivered. And he's been completely countered by the Timbersaw and the lockdown, and that's only going to get worse as time goes on. The BKB timing, I feel like it's not going to be early enough. And Vici Gaming by that point will have items like Force Staffs, Glimmer Capes. They can look to just kite him around, wait for the BKB to wear off, and go from there.
He's gone back into a Tranquil Boots, actually, as we'll see a Remnant away. And this is tough to deal with, how just not taking Rupture damage. They don't have that reliable lockdown for him. Tranquil Boots, though.
It's
just feeling like he needs something right now, but it is going to even further delay the BKB and really limit a lot of his damage output as the game progresses.
Yeah, it gives him a little bit of armor against the Sleight of Fist, but I mean, the physical damage hasn't really become a problem
It's
yet.
the pure damage that's really killing him.
And that's where, I guess it's a bit more movement speed maybe, but overall, yeah, it was just a small spend of money. I feel like Treads maybe would have been a little bit better, but more importantly, just stay on Brown Boots till you have your BKB.
It's like a sign of the times, you know. He goes from dominating the safe lane to, I better buy whatever I can right now. Give me your cheapest wares, Mr. Shopkeeper, because that's all I got money for.
Yeah. So, for MVP, HOT6, they're still kind of somewhat grouped up near this top lane. They want to center things around the Bloodseeker, who does have a completed BKB. Great space for Forev to work on his, and for the most part, he is getting that space, farming up the Ancients and now making a move towards the mid lane and the Radiant jungle. But Vici Gaming all across the map, they're farming, they're taking towers. Hao is just solo pushing a tier 2 bottom.
And the game's a lot slower, and it feels like slower right now is very much to Vici Gaming's liking. Even though there's 31 kills, most of them are on Vici's side. They're the one controlling the tempo. They've got the good aggressive wards up. Vision going their way. They have farm on playmaking supports here, especially F-Wise Rubik, who, by the way, I did not mention it, stole Rupture, and he's going to immediately Rupture MP bottom lane. Might still get the tower, deny, and he will now go ahead and steal the Blood Rage. Whoa, potentially a big pickup, and Dire actually the one's getting the last hit on the tower.
He puts the Blood Rage on Hao, who does a ton of damage there, goes for another Sleight of Fist.
That's a scary spell at Ember, because he's invulnerable every time he throws in the Sleight of Fist. They did get the Airshaker, though. Finally, MVP able to find a pick-off here in the jungle. Man, it feels like it's been a while.
Yeah, it really has. And Husker's a hero who wants to just go from, like, kill to kill, or at least, if he's not finding kills, he wants to be just power farming the jungle, taking Roshan, which he hasn't been able to do at any point in this game, just not feeling comfortable with HOT6's map control and just general pressure that they're applying on the map. And as a result, things have been going more and more toward Vici Gaming's favor.
Sunbeam grabbing a haste turn here, but taking heavy damage from Hao. Reinforcements could come from the Timber, who's cutting off the path of retreat, and Sunbeam does end up falling. He tried for the hook to safety, had no target, and drops. Another takedown for Vici Gaming as they sit only at a 2k gold lead despite it all, gods. It doesn't look that bad, but it just feels like HOT6 are completely on the back foot.
Yeah, we'll have to see how things kind of turn when Forev gets the BKB, but you've got Force Staff already being built on Fenrir, not going for the Blink Dagger. Great item against the Clockwork, of course, and I think just as great against the Husk guy. It helps himself as well as whichever teammate gets caught, so I think Force Staff is going to be the name of the game. Even someone like FY, as much as Blink is such a great playmaking item on Rubik, I could see him going for a secondary Force Staff. It's going to be a kind of key item this game for Vici Gaming. Support items, Glimmer Capes, Force Staffs, Blink Daggers are just the name of the game.
Don't do it, man. Don't do it.
They're waiting. Okay, Timbersaw just TP'd in. They're ready now to deal with him.
Vici are just too quick to respond.
The Radiant Ward sees him, though. This is a valuable ward coming from HOT6.
MP may end up having to blow his BKB here if he doesn't get out. He is moving out. Keeps on hugging the cliff. Meanwhile, Hal moving in. Jumps on the mid lane, wants to go on Sunby. Remnant forward. There's the blade mail. Chains is going to connect. How's going to drop quickly to this, but Sunby a bit faster, and with the Sleight of Fist, you don't take the blade mail damage. So he survives. The Chains maybe going to come out again as they hunt towards Jerax. Just clear out the creep wave. Track number 2. And there's your Rupture. How? Gotta stop running. He wants to get back to the tower first, but MP, he looks to dive this with the BKB available. They get the first kill. I don't think he gets super, though. Desperately wanting to join him in the chase, but they can't quite do it, so it's up to Ice to get the hell away, because he suddenly found himself way behind enemy lines, has no TP for 13 seconds. Can he pull off a classic Ice play? Chains up to the high ground. Looks like he can, God. Somehow he gets out.
All right. No, I guess their lockdown is somewhat lackluster on the MVP HOT6 side when they're not getting someone with the hookshot and the cogs. Lina stun. There's no setup for a support Lina stun, which is always something you have to worry a little bit about, but HOT6 still making it work. Just the kind of snowball potential of Husker and Bloodseeker within any one given fight has worked out from them for the most part when they've needed it. But
and once they get that double BKB, we may see them just go tower diving like crazy, but that is not a good way to get ready for it. Dives the tower, gets caught by a fissure, just desperately wanted a little more map control for his team, and 4F pays the ultimate price here. Yeah. Or, sorry, MP. Well, he could be next. Yeah. He tries to stun super, and he jukes the stun, but he still gets fissured, and another lightning's going to come out. I think he's dead anyway. FY self-blood raging just for a little bit of extra Fate Bolt damage. We'll get the kill. Oh, sheesh. These guys can't catch a break. MVP, no mercy from Vici. You took a game off of the Tiger. It's going to bite you right back.
Yeah, Vici Gaming. Nice little draft here. The Timbersaw so far looking good. Bloodstone up to 10 charges, and now they're talking a Yule Scepter as well to offer his team some more control and just ability to. I mean, you've got so much lockdown already. This is just going to get insane.
So good versus the Bloodseeker silence as well. That's like to me the big way he can maybe die here.
That's a really valuable use for it.
On the side of MVP, I would love to see a Yules on the Lina here just to remove the Ember Flame Guard and also as a good setup for a stun, but oh, Jerax, so unfortunate. He just walks into a sentry. Super was waiting, calmly lands with the stun.
You've got the Radiant Observer there too, so you're like, okay, this hasn't been dewarded. That means there's no sentries around.
It's literally just out of range.
Of 2 separate sentries. Like,
oh, sheesh.
That's life as a bounty hunter. Some games you just get a bit unlucky and
he can TP out. 4F can't do this alone. He needs a +1. He's gonna go for it now with the Alpha Wolf Super. TP maybe burns to death at the well. He's fine.
Bottle spamming. Okay.
That was close though. Whew. Giving him a bit of a sweat. He'll be fine in the end. Why is a Black King bar dropped? What's going on here, gods?
Well, you know, just casual BKBs on the ground.
And Heen, yeah, in a bit deep mid. I feel like MVP just starting to get a bit frustrated here. It is the end of the day. It's been a pretty late day. It was supposed to end, what, 3-4 hours ago, so yeah. Maybe that's a factor here, and with the start Vici's had, it's got to be frustrating. Now the gold lead starts to get out of hand. A 6k gold lead, 8k experience, and Vici into the pit. They are scouted. They have the double BKBs. This could be the moment for MVP. Will we see the Great Age of Steel again? They're coming in without vision, but now they've just been scouted. Jerax leading the way. The Rocket again, giving some sight. Too far to dive on Defender. They're not going to go. They do stop the Roche for now. Gives their Lina time to respawn. And MVP, they'd really love to have that Aegis for themselves. You've got Huskar, Bloodseeker, 2 heroes that just want to go ham, dive, and then at least have a second life if they overcommit.
Yeah. To me, the big worry here for MVP is, as much as their 2 main carries, Husker and Bloodseeker, are farming, their items progression is going pretty well, especially for the Bloodseeker. For Vici Gaming, it's all across the board. The supports are getting utility items. You've got the Blink on Rubik, the 4-star from the Earthshaker. For Radiant side, Clockwork has just been struggling. He's 0-9. Heen has just been food this game as well. And even the Bounty Hunter, I mean, a lot of bad luck's going to come Jerax's way, like we saw at top lane, where he's just getting punished for any kind of aggressive movement he makes on the map. So the 3 kind of support / off lane hero of the MVP, they're not transitioning at all, whereas Vici Gaming have heroes that are going to continue to be effective as this game drags towards the late game.
It's funny how slow a hasted Bloodseeker looks. He should be so much more impressive, but he's not. Oh, they're going for it, God. Smoke into the Roche pit. They have the ice armor creep. This should be easy. And Vici Gaming don't even have a clue. They may take the tier 2 top. As long as nobody dies here, this is a big win. Jarex, uh-oh. He's in the danger zone, just hugging the creep wave. But that's an acceptable loss for an Aegis, and it looks like it will be a loss. Shredded. But they get Forev a second life. He doesn't have a TP, though. He's going to have to walk back. And Vici, they may just go high ground through this. They have the BKB on Super. They just completed Daedalus on Hal.
They spot Husker. They
see
no
jumping. And they're running, and he stopped to even farm the lane mid a little bit. He's got to get back. He's dumped the creeps to just get in as quickly as possible. They even are forced to use the Rupture on Ice, who keeps on running and just dying to Rupture. Now try to TP out any sort of nuke. Zap him, hook him, do something, men. They just can't get the job done. Now they buy back the bounty. That's for not FY stealing the hook shot. And everybody looking to make their way out. Hal gonna jump in and out, and MVP just getting their ankles broken here by Vici.
Yeah, the hook shot, I think, hitting a teammate there, and
that really is frustrating if you're MVP.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately they hold. They don't really lose too much. Husker actually got the mid-tier 1 tower, which is a pretty important objective at this point. Like, having a mid-tier 1 tower at 30 minutes in the game is a huge advantage for a team. So,
and they still, it's only a bounty hunter buyback. I mean, let's be real here. As long as he's alive tracking people, that's all that matters.
Yeah, it's not a big deal as far as his economy goes, but it's very much like Vici Gaming controlling the game, being the puppeteers. They're the ones forcing HOT6 around and just kind of toying with them from time to time, it seems. And I'm
afraid of this FY hook shot, because he can just hook in, lift if he'd like, and then immediately blink out. It's just a free jump in whenever they want.
Derek's playing very aggressive once more with his positioning. Oh, they actually spotted it out.
If he guessed right, Super would have just killed him there from full HP. And that, oh, okay, that's a Rubik. Maybe hoping to catch him and then go for the dust if he gets it.
Yeah, if you hit something blind, then you kind of know.
Here comes the real hook, and they are bringing in Jarex as well. He has the track on Hal, so they see the rotation. And if they see Hal running top, there's probably more. He retracks Hal, so they've only got one hero giving them a bit of sight. But they're sieging with Forev, and he has picked up a Reaver. He's getting tankier and tankier. This could be that fight where MVP get out of control.
Yeah, this is where Vici Gaming, I think it's, if you feel like you can get the position you need to take the fight, go for it, but by no means is this like a important tower for them in the big picture of things here. This is a position where a bad fight could very much come their way. An Aegis, Husker, up to 2k total HP, obviously he's not going to be sitting there. He doesn't want to be sitting on 2k HP, otherwise he's got no attack speed and no Berserker's blood. But this is a Husker who can cause a lot of problems for them.
They really want to make something happen with this. You could just see it. They keep on sieging in. Super is going to stun, though, and this gives HOT6 the opening. He's going to throw out the chakram. The heal comes through, and let's go for it! You want to slam? Super, I'm going to jam you down. He jumps in. Look for the armlet toggle. Nothing just yet. He tanks it all. He did commit his BKB, though, and with that, I think he's got to get out. He does have the Aegis, but they can just chain stun him if he's not careful. He goes on FI. That's a track kill. He wants more, and now MP's found his opening. Straight on Defender, but the Bloodstone keeps him alive a bit longer. Not long enough. That's 3 down. And then, oh, he trying to retreat out. Ice will get tracked. This could be another track kill. This is getting out of hand. And Ice also with the Bloodstone deny. He's going to have to give up the GOAT. They all end up crashing out. Actually, the Leshrac didn't even get his off, so that's only 1 Bloodstone deny there. But Gods, they found the fight. That's a 4.5k gold swing, 3.5k experience, and all of a sudden HOT6 and right back in.
That's the power of the Aegis. That's just Vici. I think Vici Gaming overconfidence in their ability to just hype the Husker. At some point, like, yeah, okay, you threw a stun, you're chipping away, taking away from it, and he's just like, well, I'll just dive in and die for this kill.
Forev jumping in, the dunk gets dodged by Yule Scepter, and he's still going in. He's really feeling like he can take on the world right now, but no Aegis. Does have the heart, but the pure damage is going to make this one very difficult. Heal yourself, my man. Hey, hook. They try to engage. He dunks over the cogs. The armlet tuggles. It's not enough. FY probably going to immolate to this, but they need more. Bloodseeker running fast as Speedy Gonzalez, but just not quite enough. But the BKB, when it's up, makes him God, but when it's down, he is ever so mortal.
Yeah, and it was a really nice life break because he completely got onto the other side of the cogs, separated himself from the Timbersaw, but Timbersaw got him with the chakram from like from max range or something. So it looked like a fantastic. I mean, it was a really nice life break.
Oh no, Hal went for the blink dagger, but MP has the BKB TP out. Oh, looks like Hal wants to try to show maybe that he too knows how to Ember Spirit, but you got to do more than that, Hal. He's not quite there yet.
surprised. I thought it was going to go for a Satanic as well. As much as like you love being on low HP, but every now and then you're like really low. You just want to heal up a bit. Popping a Satanic can give you that little bit of invulnerability. Yeah. But
I definitely would be surprised if he doesn't get one eventually, especially with the Dominator already picked up. It feels very core on Huskar, but
itemizing against a Timbersaw is like there's no item to deal with pure damage at this point. I mean, BKB, you could go with what? BKB Refresher, but you don't really get benefit from a Refresher, so.
No, you just got, maybe a Hex would be okay. Ideally, he's not the one to get it, though. If you're Huskar, you just want to tank up and let your teammates lock them down while you dish out the heavy damage.
So for MVP, at some point they're going to need cores outside of the Huskar offering a lot in these fights, and that's what, not even just cores, like someone like Alina, you want to have killer potential coming out from Heen. Alina's a hero who can still scale really well with Ags, with 4-star fuels, whatever it may be, so I wouldn't even mind them giving Heen some farm priority because of how important he could be going to the late game.
They got eyes on Ice, but he's rather mobile. He will just calmly chain away, retreat out. They just need to fight more. They really want to, but Vici Gaming keep on fencing around, dodging as much as possible. If Vici wants to play the farm game, it feels like. Just continue to pile up items, get to the point where you can survive the Huskar jump long enough to wait out the BKB, to chain stun him, and just play for the late game here.
Yeah. Big thing for MVP would be if they can get another Roshan. That was the key to their success in the top lane. Having Aegis on Huskar, that is something they're definitely going to be looking to try and achieve again, which is going to be up in sometime in the next 2 to 5 minutes. So not going to be easy, because Vici Gaming are also going to recognize that was their downfall in that top fight. So they're going to be looking to kind of keep eyes on Roshan when it's respawned.
And eyes on Jerax. They've gotten the gem now. And no longer... If you go back to that fight top, they had the track on the Ember, which it felt like was a lot of the reason why the fight works. They saw the Vici rotation, they knew they were burning in the team, and this time around, he's gonna... if he goes for those types of aggressive tracks, he's gonna end up dead.
FY just roaming around his secret shop area, trying to get some D-ward action going, and using the Curry even for vision.
Gonna be disappointed, no wards in the neighborhood. In fact, there's only one ward on the entire map. It's just this solitary defensive observer ward. Dunby is about to get caught. Oh, this is trouble for the Clockwork. He backs off. They were just begging for him to come in.
Yeah, he's seeing the slide.
In fact, this may actually be good. Sure, Ice is here, but not sure if it's
Ice doesn't offer any like counter gank potential as far as like stuns or.
And the hook shot misses. Sunby, he couldn't find it. Needed a hook into a... Actually, I don't know if they have him even then.
Hook LSA. I mean, you can hook and then try and push him with the cogs.
You need to like hook LSA while the LSA is going off, get off the silence, and then you have a chance. Yeah. But yeah, it's a pretty tough kill. This is where Ember really gave Secret... Was it Secret? Cloud9 fits earlier.
Yeah.
Because it feels like the way to play Ember right now is you just never let your opponents push, and you're almost impossible to gank, at least with the heroes that are in vogue right now. And if anyone comes on their own, you just start finding these free pickoffs. And How is... It feels like he's copy-pasting what Maybe did earlier.
Yeah, he's so deep on the map, but they just don't have the ability to really lock him in place. The hook shot into an LSA with a cogs is about it, but even then, you need damage on top of that. So I'd say it'd take 4 heroes probably to kill him. Maybe they could do it with 3.
It almost feels like they have to get a Hex at some point. Ideally with a Blink or a Force on that same hero.
Maybe something Clockwork can consider. He has completed Aghanim Scepter now back at base.
For now, 4F's just going to walk into the pit. And FY wants to get the hell away. He blinks out.
Map control around this Roshan pick going to become so important for both these two teams.
And that's what Hal's all about. Sure, he's top, but he just keeps on pushing the lane. MVP have to back, and since Vici or Dire, they're always going to have the easier access into the pit.
You lose some vision there as some Radiant dewarding goes on, but things slowing down now. And Hal, well, he's not just pushing out creep waves, he's actually pressuring a tier 3 tower.
They hook us, can they change on him? They cog him back, they need... Oh, they can't get it.
Very close.
I mean, that just shows you how hard it really is.
Yeah, it's...
I almost feel like they have no choice but to get a Hex.
That was just the right execution. Lina, I mean, it's so hard for... If Lina's already there in position, then Ember Spirit knows Lina's like missing on the map and probably isn't there. So it's only because Lina TP's in and goes to that 4-star play. that it was remotely close.
And he's always got a remnant. Howler's going to TP out now up to 4.3k. Another Battle Fury, Lincoln's, Boots of Travel. What are you thinking here?
Normally you see like a second Daedalus. Just as the later the game goes, it's very much about just single target hero killing potential, which is going to come more from the crits than the cleave. So second Daedalus is probably going to be his item choice. He's sending the secret shop now. So.
Oh, the hook again! MVP blocking each other. Even though Ice was ruptured, he chained back and still survived. And meanwhile, while that's happening, they know they can go and Heen bottom. They find the easy takedown on the Lina. Now they'll have to back. That hurts. Rubik even stealing the Light Strike array on his way out. I'm feeling for Sunbi here. Whether it's miscommunication or just teammates not cooperating, he just keeps on getting blocked.
It's such a tough game with the HOT6 draft. Like, there's not really enough synergy between their heroes. They can't find pickoffs easily. The Ember Spirit just has free reign to split push. I mean, Vici Gaming are never grouped as 5, except when they feel like they have to defend the MVP HOT6 push like a top lane. And even then, that's kind of when they're weak. When they're at their strongest is when they have Ember Spirit alone top. They're leaving FY bottom, and that's where, like, FY with Soup just backing up the Super Leshrac. They're just having heroes solo push lanes when they feel it's safe. Completely splitting the map, out-farming their opponents, outplaying their opponents.
Ow. Jumping in. He blinks forward, and he gets hooked, but he's got the remnant back, and see you later. But guess who's waiting? It's Jarex. He can't kill him.
Yeah, I think this is how it wins.
That would be pretty amazing.
That's impressive. Jarex was like, he found the remnant, but little doesn't matter.
If only he had 4 items right now, then he could go for that.
Goes for the blink north and TP out. Cheeky little play. MKB, okay. No evasion yet, but he can cancel TPs.
And often something a Bloodseeker and a Huskar will go for.
Yeah. Huskar going for an Aghanim Scepter, actually, once that short cooldown life break.
I feel like he hasn't been life breaking much this game.
Oh, Bounty gets found and dusted.
That's what you get for following me. Don't come after me. That's how. It's just, like you said, Vici Gaming are just completely in control of the movements more than anything. With how constantly parked top, with little lockdown for him. I don't know how they do it. Barring a Blink Hex on somebody.
Yeah, they need a lot of items. I think if Lina was really fun, this game would be looking a little bit. There's a hookshot now. That's the hookshot Sunbee's been looking for, and they do pick off Leshrac. It's going to come down to continue to find these pickoffs. Problem is, it's not even that bad of a scenario. Again, Vici Gaming are still in control. Even when they're having Leshrac get picked off, they take a tier 3 tower top. It's not the ideal scenario, but most of the time they've been making that play, no one's getting picked off.
Oh, he left the base. Vici were smoked, and they punish him.
It's just, again, they're splitting this top and bottom lane attention so well, and MVP HOT6 just don't really have the resources to deal with it.
And I think I've seen this movie before, gods.
I mean, you've got to just continually force him to fire Remnant back, but you're...
The cooldown's low enough that as long as he only has to use 1 to retreat every time you go on him, it's...
Yep.
He's always going to have 1 available. I feel this wasn't really the Vici Gaming plan when they drafted. You know, it wasn't, okay, we're just going to split push with Ember and stall endlessly. It felt like it was much more like we're just going to dominate them with our 5-man in the mid-game, but they just adjusted so nicely after that one team fight that went poorly top. Okay, you're never team fighting us again. We're just going to park our Ember top, the rest of the team will move around the map with aggressive wards up, and we'll get a gem so you don't have vision, and you're just not going to see us until we walk out with 6 items and an Aegis on our Ember.
And like you said, at this point, the only answer is farming a Hex on someone, and that's going to be tricky. Like, who's actually going to be the candidate for it? Lina would... not going to be able to get anything of the sort. Lina wants like an Ag Scepter, wants even a Shadow Blade could be great because that's a way to initiate, like with the Shadow Blade.
They're going in, the Fissure blocks a couple away though, that's a ballsy hook. Well, it worked for them before, now the Blood Rage coming out. Oh, well,
got the sounds on how.
They did kill him once, but he's got an Aegis for round number 2. They live for it, they're going to try to clip him here. He's got a dunk down anyway, it's not really going to matter. FY, trapped within the pit, How has only 1 Remnant, and he's going to use it to get up to the high ground and retreat as the Bloodseeker of MT marches in, wants to finish up Super, the dunk, the chain's done, the BKB were off at the wrong freaking time. 4F now is going to get thrashed by the pure damage of Ice 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 if he continues the chase. MVP, they do pop the Aegis. It's not a terrible fight as far as that goes, but
the chase is on.
They just can't kill the Ember or the Leshrac, it feels. At least not twice.
Missed the Searing Chains on Lina, and it looks like they want to play a bit more cautious.
I don't know if they can deal with 4-up. They really need Ice to be the one that bursts him down. He throws up the double shock rope, but 4-up says, screw it, man. It's time for me to fight. I've been waiting for this moment all game long. Cal, meanwhile, on the run. He just wants to pick off the backside of MVP, and that's Heen on the backside. Quickly dealt with. He's just outmaneuvering them at this point, but there's a hook that finds Ice. He may not be able to get out of here. Has a Yule Scepter ready, and no chains. No chance, but Ember Cleave, not quite enough. Oh, suicide there. Does end up making his way out, and How
has a fire
always has a remnant. Yep. He just always has the one remnant he needs.
No.
And zippity-doo-dah. See you later.
He's gone. Well,
his remnant control has been really good this game. I don't think we've seen How once caught without a remnant in a key situation.
Yeah, he's very disciplined play from a very aggressive carry play, but I think he wants to be aggressive, so he's like, okay, the only way I can get away with this is if I play with that safety factor of having the remnant, and he always has it really far back. It's never just like, oh, let's just put it like 1200 range behind where my hero's pushing. It's like, no, let's have it halfway across the map and then go push the lane.
4,000 range. How's that sound?
Yeah. That sounds a bit safer. Buys a boot to travel, so this is going to give him some great global presence. He's constantly kind of TPing back to base, and he can use this just to kind of sustain himself very well.
You know, if only the dunk from Huskar just followed the Ember Spirit all across the map, then you'd have your potential counter, but...
That'd be the solution then.
And a Boots of Travel to pick up, so even more mobility for Hal. We'll start stealing Ancient stacks here. And at this point, can sell the treads, can get that second Daedalus you mentioned. We saw the Rapier for maybe. Don't know if you really need it as much this game, but we'll find out. Hal engage on a Sunbeam. He is going to commit, and yeah.
I can still see the potential of MVP's lamp. I don't feel like they're out of this. The Huskar in that last fight was a complete beast. Even when he had like double chakram on him, when he starts at full HP, Ice brought him down to like maybe 2/3 to half HP, and then Leshrac died, support started dying. The Bounty Hunter really benefited the Huskar as well, giving him track vision, giving him the extra bit of movement speed, and just helping him kind of lock onto targets. So still potential here, but it's always going to come down to how do you lock down the Ember Spirit ever? How do you stop the split push, which was causing them problems? And it's going to come down to, I mean, farming a Hex, farming a Shadow Blade on Alina, just getting some items to help them deal with it. And I don't know if it can come from 4, like he's maybe going to consider something like a Hex.
I think it's going to come from Jerax. He's got 2,800 gold and a Void Stone.
Ooh, okay.
And if they get
That's the Hex.
If they get Boots of Travel 2 on the Huskar, he can just BOT on top of the Invis Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
They can Hex and they just go. That seems to be the play.
I like the sounds of that.
And potentially even the Bloodseeker could join in eventually. He's up to 4k gold. Then maybe they have their solutions as Al just starts working on range tracks. He's gonna jump away. But I think that could really give them trouble, because then the Ember needs a teammate there, or he needs sentries everywhere, or he's gonna get caught.
Yeah.
But meanwhile, 4F is in very deep mid. Whoa, he's going in. At Fenrir, even Ghost Scepter the dunk. This may end up getting him killed a bit quicker. They try to change the form. The pure damage is strong. He goes in, and he took too much before he BKB'd. He will drop. That's a costly pickoff. It puts Hal in a wicked 6 streak, and there's actually no buyback.
Oh, he TP's top immediately. Has the fire in the back of base as well.
It's only Sunbeam here. The Cog's in a good position, but this damage is really going to stack up. He forces Sunbeam almost back to the well already. MP is coming in. Rupture's there. He has a remnant, and Hal is gone again. He is toying with them so beautifully.
Yeah. Lina also died in the middle of the map while a lot of that was going on. Just another Timbersaw kill, so... this is where Vici Gaming are just racking up items. Like Ice is about to have an Octarine core as well on Timbersaw. That's actually a huge item. It means just all of your nukes can have a much shorter cooldown, and especially important against the Huskar to just keep dishing out that pure damage when he's gotten as tanky as he is.
And now they start looking for X. Vici Gaming, they want their point. They might not get 3 off of a HOT6 who looked very mortal coming into this game, but they at least want to walk away with something to show for it. And now 4 are dead at this point. The gem even hits the deck. The Bloodseeker silence only going to barely clip FY, and no chance that Bloodseeker can go in on his own. He will buy a Basher, a tiny sliver of lockdown, but already 2 lanes are about to fall. They crash in, working on the tier 3 bottom. This could be instantly 3 melee Rex gone. 48 minutes in, Vici Gaming starting to really get out of hand here, and they jump in and tank the damage. Sunbi just hooking for Holy's worth, but it's not worth a whole hell of a lot. And it's up to 4F. Yule Scepter says, it's not even up to you. We're just retreating now. We'll let the Ember Spirit deal with your backlines. Heen almost dead from a single Slam Fist as Hao jumps away, continuing to just kite and control MVP. They may back now, but they've gotten what they came for, which is a hell of a lot of damage on the base. 4M with the big dunk, but Bender waiting. He goes with the Enchant Totem. You need to BKB. He can't get it off, and he'll die again without popping it. 2 deaths in a row. I think a creep even got Laguna bladed there by Heen. Either way, doesn't really matter. 4 heroes dead, and GG. MVP HOT6, hugely impressive in game number 1, and they had their shots here in game 2, Gods, but
yeah,
they just weren't quite organized enough to take Vici Gaming down 2-0.
No, this was a unique draft coming out from HOT6, trying to pull out the Husker, and it was fun to watch, but you could just see Vici Gaming like, we can deal with this trick. Game 1, it wasn't really a trick, it was just a solid, super aggressive early game dominant draft. They dominated the laning stage. And I feel like game 2, they're like, okay, we can't really get the same heroes to do it. The Undying, the Tusk, these heroes